Hello, everyone, and welcome to this video. I'm Zach Patton with ZPX Now, where we build digital infrastructure for $1 million to $10 million small businesses with a focus on post acquisition value creation. So, today we are doing a quick small business acquisition digital value audit for a legacy candy business here in Buffalo, New York, that is currently up for sale. The purpose of this audit is to identify where digital infrastructure can increase revenue, margin, and enterprise value in small businesses after acquisition, potentially. So, quick note, I'm not the broker for this business. I'm not the owner, and I'm not buying. This audit was conducted using publicly available information only, like the Biz Buy Sell listing, which we'll go over in a second, social media, and Google search results. That's all. So, there's nothing proprietary here. I'm not sharing anything proprietary or any type of private information. This is all publicly available. So, real quick, I'm going to pop over here so that you guys can see the Biz Buy Sell listing, which you are free to look at. This is available for anybody. It's actually where I even found this listing, and we decided to do this audit was from the Biz Buy Sell listing. Okay, so snapshot, which again we got from Biz Buy Sell, company Parkside Candy, estimated revenue about 1.4. We're estimating EBITDA to be between 4 and 600,000. That was not listed. That's purely an internal educated guess on our end. So definitely don't take that as any type of truth or anything like that. Asking price is 2.5 million, including real estate about 19,000 square feet, including a 10,000 square foot manufacturing facility right here at the main location at Main and Winspear, excuse me. The business model is a confectionery manufacturing, retail, and wholesale distribution and destination retail. Buffalo, New York, founded in 1927, making about 99 years old. So, Parkside Candies is a historic confectionery brand based in Buffalo, New York, known for handmade chocolates, sponge candies, old-fashioned lollipops, and a vintage soda fountain experience, which is very cool. So, current digital infrastructure. So when we evaluate businesses, we are usually looking at four main touch points. That's the website conversion, search visibility and demand capture, social media presence, and overall brand position. So that's what we're going to be going over today in the audit. So first things first, website conversion infrastructure. Move this over. Cool. So, Parkside's website functions more as a historical brand showcase rather than a modern conversion platform. The design appears to be dated compared to other specialty food brands, and navigation prioritizes company history over product discovery. Testimonials are manually inserted, and the e commerce pathways are limited. So, real quick, before I continue, I'm going to pop over here so you guys can actually get a good look at the website. Here we go. So again, very legacy driven, very nostalgic driven, kind of like stepping back in time, very period piece. There we go. Very, Gatsby's type of vibe here. So again, you can see that what's really prioritized here is, legacy. You can shop, which we'll go over, but it's clear that again, as I posted on Threads, their website mostly function as a digital brochure rather than a revenue engine. So we're missing strong e-commerce flows, email capture, seasonal campaigns, and gift funnels. So this really represents the first major opportunity for potential buyer or new ownership to come in and build, stronger e-commerce infrastructure and platform to create a higher converting website, which of course is going to increase revenue, right? So here we go, leveraging ecom for national revenue. So the first thing that we noticed, and one of the first things we noticed when doing the audit is the what we call the Buffalo diasporic demand. So that means Buffalonians all over the United States, still think about Parkside Candy, still want Parkside Candy, and are grabbing Parkside Candy when they come back home to visit. They're sending it to their relatives. They're ordering it themselves, right? So we're seeing former Buffalonians constantly talk online about childhood candy memories, shipping sponge candy to relatives, buying boxes when visiting home. So this is a national customer base that is not being tapped into yet. I even actually grabbed a real comment from Facebook. It says Parkside is always my first stop when I come back home to Buffalo. I think the sponge candy might be the only thing that can keep me sane right now. So again, there's a very deep emotional connection to the brand, to the business, and to the product, right? So here we can move along. So search visibility and demand capture. So when we search Candy Buffalo, New York, we get Fowler's Chocolates and Visit Buffalo as sponsored results with Parkside Candies appearing organically, which is great. This suggests Parkside benefits from strong legacy search authority, but does not appear to invest in any paid search or digital marketing, while the competitors like Fowler's do. So, in tourism driven categories like confectionery and gifts, pay visibility can strongly influence purchasing decisions, particularly among out of towners, right? So, this is just a quick screenshot of searching candy in Buffalo, New York, and I can actually do that here as well. So, at this search, we actually got the AI overview, which includes Parkside Candy first, then the competitors. Same thing here with the Google Maps search. Parkside Candies coming in first. And then when you scroll down, you see the other competitors. So the SEO is actually already very strong, which makes the e commerce component, like we talked about, that much more necessary. Because if you're ranking and you're getting that organic traffic, then we should be converting, right? That's a very clear opportunity to convert, right? And if I could pop over here real quick so that we can actually see some of the reviews, we got a 4.6 Google rating and about 461 reviews, which is incredible, right? And you can see you got a lot of people talking about sponge candy. You got a lot of people talking about ice cream sundaes. You got a lot of people talking about the staff. That might be the highest ranking, actually, friendly staff. So, again, this is a place that people like to visit, right? So, if I just scroll down, you'll see this place is too good to be true. The ambiance is incredible as the service. Right, stepping into Parkside on Main Street is like stepping back in time in the best way possible. Historic jewel of Buffalo, banana splits are amazing, as is all the candy and ambiance. You see this, smiling customers, happy families, right? So, customers, the fans, you know, they take no issue whatsoever with Parkside. This is a very loyal customer base. That again, even when people move out of town, move out of Buffalo, they still want it. They're going to come back. They're going to grab it while they can. They're going to ship it to themselves. They're going to ship it to relatives. So again, very, very clear demand here. This is not like a brand that is, waning in relevancy or declining. This is clearly very something that still holds a position in people's minds and hearts, which is huge, right? So social media presence. This was, definitely something worth looking into. Parkside's social presence is extremely limited for a nearly 100-year-old brand. Instagram is at about 840 followers, while Facebook sits at about 2,100 followers. There's no activity on either of these pages since 2021, so it's about 5 years. They have a Twitter/X account, but basically not. I mean, there's been no activity on there since 2012. So that was clearly never really a part of their strategy, and no TikTok presence whatsoever, which is, for people that use TikTok, know is a massive problem/opportunity um, for a potential new owner to come in and build a presence on TikTok, because as we know, TikTok is really built around um, very strong niche communities. So if you can get in there and get in with the candy niche community, again with strong e-commerce infrastructure, now we're talking about shipping to a national customer base, that are online looking for candy, looking for specialty candy, and want it, and will spend money on it, right? So customer comments still showing strong interest, product inquiries, nostalgia. from former Buffalonians, quality feedback, shipping questions, suggesting meaningful demand that is currently unmanaged online, right? So, again, big opportunity there on the digital presence. So, our insight based on this, here's what I posted here on Threads: content, content, content. This brand has incredible storytelling assets with 1920s architecture, old school candy making, vintage soda fountain, and appeared in the movie The Natural from 1984. So this is the type of nostalgia that can definitely unlock increased EBITDA. So few small food brands possess storytelling assets like Parkside, point blank, right? So these elements create strong content opportunities like short form, social storytelling, historic photo archives, candy making demonstrations. That could be huge, maybe even like workshops, things like that, or behind the scenes footage. These formats often perform very well for heritage food brands and could expand visibility far beyond Buffalo, right? So, again, we're thinking about how do we turn Parkside into a national brand, not just a regional legacy brand. Okay, overall brand position. Online engagement reveals strong emotional loyalty driven by nostalgia, family traditions, and repeat sponge candy purchases, including demand from former Buffalo residents nationwide, as we just said. But despite this brand equity, Parkside's digital infrastructure remains minimal, and the website functions largely as a brochure. Paid search appears unused. Social media has been active for over 5 years, and the online customer engagement is largely unmanaged, representing a clear growth opportunities. Right. So, quick summary of the entire Parkside audit. Parkside Candies is a nearly 100-year-old Buffalo confectionery brand with strong regional loyalty, steady retail traffic, and established wholesale relationships, but its digital infrastructure appears significantly underdeveloped relative to the strength of the brand, right? So that gap represents a massive opportunity. The business currently operates with minimal online marketing, limited e commerce optimization, inactive social media channels, and li- very little visible paid search investment, suggesting that most revenue is probably driven by legacy brand recognition rather than any active demand capture, right? So, under new ownership, modern digital infrastructure, particularly e commerce expansion, targeting the Buffalo diaspora, seasonal product campaigns, thinking like Halloween, Valentine's Day, Christmas, Easter, right? These type of seasonal product campaigns, tourism demand capture, and content driven brand amplification could meaningfully increase revenue and EBITDA without requiring major operational changes, which is huge. So, again, in this audit, we're not talking about changing staff. We're not talking about changing operations. We're not talking about changing retail. This is just about how we position this business online, right? Other than that, it seems like what how it's currently being managed from an operational perspective, from a brand perspective, is sufficient. You don't get to 100 years by accident. So it's very clear that Parkside is doing a lot of things right. So, this audit is really just about, hey, what would happen if we just tweak the digital presence, the digital infrastructure, built out revenue infrastructure online to grow the business, not reinvent the wheel. So, part two of our summary: under current ownership, we have a multi generational brand equity. We have a business driven primarily by retail traffic, tourism, and wholesale relationships. Website exists to preserve legacy and nostalgia. No investment in paid digital marketing, and social media inactive for over 5 years, right? So coming over here under new ownership, potentially we have national revenue via e-commerce, seasonal candy campaigns via digital marketing. Again, think Valentine's Day, huge. Easter, huge. Halloween, huge. Christmas, huge. Strategically captured tourism demand, storytelling content to amplify nostalgia and brand equity, and stronger SEO, right? Which would just come down to, baking more content into the website so that Google wants to rank this website even higher than it already is, right? Okay, guys, so that is all for now. So, real quick, I want to offer you to download the full audit. This is an 11-page digital value audit for Parkside Candies, detailing the current digital infrastructure, brand performance, and opportunities to grow revenue and EBITDA. Included in the audit, we got a website conversion and e-commerce analysis. We have search visibility and paid demand capture assessment. We have a social media presence and engagement review, customer sentiment and brand loyalty insights, key digital growth opportunities for new ownership, and estimated revenue uh, EBITDA lift potential. So, real quick, if I could go back real fast, we estimate that just doing this, and again, not touching the core operations at all, could easily uh, double EBITDA, right? We're talking about doubling this business potentially just through stronger digital infrastructure. Obviously, no promises, no guarantees. This is not a science. This is just our best guess based on experience. Feel free to scan this QR code here to take you directly to the link to download the full report. Again, it's 11 pages, a lot of good stuff in there. Again, I'm Zach Patton with ZBX Now. We build digital infrastructure for 1 million to $10 million small businesses with a focus on post-acquisition value creation. You can reach me here at zacharybillion@gmail.com. Thank you for your time today, guys. Have a good one.